I know I've been, I would use the word partially automating some of my alpha crunching based strategies more around SPX options trading. And, you know, one of the things I'm struggling with is I'll have certain strategies that I automating, and it's almost like, I turn the bot on, it takes the trade, and it's like, what do I do now? Right? Do I just watch? Like, how do I fill my time? And you mentioned a couple of good things here. Well, continue, to monitor your drawdown, or is it executing? And that's kind of where I ended up is
Hmm.
are the am I getting the fills that I expected
Right.
at the right time? And that kind of thing. I guess one thing that's hard for me is because I still do some discretionary trading alongside the automated trading. And what I struggle with is, um, if let's say the market is, if I'm doing a bullish strategy and the market starts to pull back, I may not like, I feel like I don't want to allow my automated bullish strategy to run because I might be trading the other side on a different time frame or something. So I find myself kind of like having to ignore um, certain aspects and just let these things run and just do this discretionary thing over here and really try to compartmentalize those two aspects because like you said, I think most of us, I would assume, start with discretionary. No one's starting with automated, I don't think, but moving to automated, you may not be able to automate everything. So have you seen like in your own maybe experience or maybe in your community over there at Traders Post, do you see people just completely abandoning discretionary, or are there like discretionary elements maybe they're bringing over? Like how do we make this the switch, I guess?
Yeah, I guess it depends on your mindset and your risk appetite. I certainly know people from my Quantopian days and sort of the quant days that I've spent, that are purely quantitative, purely automation based because they don't enjoy the process of managing a trade manually. And I think they're well aware of their weaknesses from a an emotional standpoint, that they would likely just introduce new types of risk if they were to manage those trades themselves. So discretionary is like not for them. And that's kind of my case. Like I prefer automation because I know that I do have tendencies to overreact. I do have tendencies to pull, trades too early or not let them ride long enough, or hold on to a stop too long. And I'm well aware of how those emotions are in play during a trade. And if I'm the variable that's keeping me from my edge, then I'd prefer to defer this to automation as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
So I think that there are definitely a healthy blend of people that kind of know their strengths and weaknesses and have decided for themselves, I'm more of an automation guy or I'm more of a discretionary trader. We certainly have people who test out the waters of automation and then end up canceling on our platform because they prefer to trade manually. And that's entirely their choice. We totally
Yeah.
get it. The journey of a trader is very much a journey of self-discovery, and you have to decide for you what path is ultimately going to work. Like you, though, I am also sort of semi-discretionary. I have many long-term, like sort of bullish, biased strategies that tend to either buy a mix of stocks, or I'm trading sort of a short-term swing strategy in futures. But then I also hedge a lot of that through futures and options on a discretionary basis. So I might put on a short to try to cover any potential perceived downside risk that I see coming up from the markets, and hang on to that for a short period of time and manage that trade manually. For me, my risk appetite is fairly big, but I want to be able to sleep at night, and I prefer to be in positions for weeks at a time, maybe at minimum days at a time. So I want to make sure that I'm putting on something that I can feel good about, that I'm not going to wake up the next morning and have exploded my entire account.
Right. Yeah.